When analysing a whole film, I often find I can't go into as much detail as I would like to, so for this video I'm going to analyse and kind of break down the construction of a specific scene in isolation, with the intention of better understanding why it works so well. The scene in question is the party scene with the mystery man in David Lynch's Lost Highway. I rewatch this scene every now and again because I find it so captivating. I think I actually first watched the scene before I even saw the film, and that's what made me want to see it. But I always wanted to understand why it worked so well. I love the mental state it puts you in. It feels like you're temporarily trapped in a bubble, transfixed by this bizarre interaction, which you are engulfed in and released by almost without noticing it, like a trance. I love these kinds of scenes that temporarily transport the film into surreality, and David Lynch has some amazing feats in this category of scene, like the diner scene on Mulholland Drive. Scenes where the boundary of reality is temporarily blurred.
Real sick, demented shit. You'd love it.
To be clear, this isn't the same to me as an outright non-narrative or surrealist film, or longer surreal sequences or montages, which can depart so far from the reality of the film that you may question why the film fed you a narrative thread in the first place.
How the fuck would you show me something if I couldn't have it?
Which, in my opinion, Lynch has also been guilty of. But this brings us to the strength of this scene. We start in comprehensible reality and transition relatively smoothly into bizarre surreality. The fluency of this transition really lets you slip into the scene. We start in a typical party scene. Fred Madison, the lead character, goes to get drinks for him and his wife. We expect him to go and do that. He walks inside to the bar, so far so good. However, every step after this will gradually depart from what we would typically expect. He orders 2 double scotches neat and puts out a largely unsmoked cigarette. Then we have a relatively abrupt music change and he knocks back both drinks. We can already tell he's not comfortable here. In his performance, you can simply see that he doesn't feel well. Something is off. This should already subtly make the viewer uncomfortable as you mirror him through your empathy with this character on screen. After that second drink, we get our first eyes on the mystery man. He immediately stands out, almost as white as the fucking wallpaper, with his eyes locked onto our character. Fred averts his gaze to avoid this unusual man, but it's useless. We get to watch as this weird guy slowly approaches Fred. And as he closes in, we enter the bubble that is this interaction. This is created through attenuating our focus. Notice how we smoothly crane into an over-the-shoulder. We can see his unusual appearance clearly. The pale face, the lipstick, the hair parting. This eye light also makes his eyes gleam as he breaks into an unsettling, silent smile. Most importantly, in my opinion, the background sound of the party is slowly reverbed and echoed out, and then massively reduced, maybe even filtered, while this unsettling drone sound is lifted to the forefront, which colors every subsequent word with unease. Now when he finally utters his introductory words, they sound as clear as a studio recording.
We've met before, haven't we?
So through the use of these audiovisual elements and the performance, our attention has been laser focused to him and what he says. Now, while his appearance, demeanor, and line delivery are unsettling, his first words are not out of the ordinary. While Fred dismisses the question, he is still intrigued enough to find out more, like we are.
Where was it you think we met?
At your house, don't you remember?
In the next few lines, he tries to allow the mystery man to explain himself, but it doesn't bring him any closer, and then suddenly things take a turn for the weird.
As a matter of fact, I'm there right now.
Again, a line from our character tries to allow the mystery man to explain himself.
What do you mean you're where right now?
It's important that we ease into this surreal experience in a natural, realistic way. It makes us work harder to try and understand what's happening during the shift to surreality, and it avoids us getting pulled out of the scene by questioning its flow. Then we reach a point where we can no longer pretend this is a normal situation. The mystery man insists that he is at Fred's house, even though they're both at this party at someone else's place.
That's fucking crazy, man.
Then the mystery man asks him to call the house. This seems like it could just be a weird joke. Fred even smiles when he dials the number, which gives us this slight bit of relief that it might be the case. But then the call is answered and the same voice is heard.
I told you I was here.
Now we can no longer pretend this is a safe situation.
Fuck no, baby!
All of the unsettling signs we picked up have been confirmed and our understanding of reality has been challenged. Fred still tries to get a reasonable explanation from this man that has violated his sense of reality, but now every word becomes cryptic. We've entered a kind of dream logic that Lynch is very good at creating. We're no longer in a comprehensible form of reality. But note that this is purely being created by the dialogue, performances, sound design and music, and the makeup. We're not in some weird tripped out dream sequence, nothing is being visually distorted. In some ways, this is actually a relatively grounded, subtle way of breaking from reality, at least in its progression. It's also my favorite way that Lynch uses surreality, when we don't completely depart from reality. Basically, you don't have to go overboard to break reality. I mean, in this scene, we're at a party, stuck with this person, in a situation that can't be explained, with answers that won't be given, all at the hands of a person standing right in front of us. And it feels like we're trapped in a bubble, a nightmare bubble. And then we transition back into the party as if nothing happened. And we're in this environment where Fred should have to act normal even though his whole sense of reality was just shattered.
We've all been there.
And we're right there with him. To me, this is such an adept use of the audio-visual medium of film. Another prime example of all these elements coming together to create something another medium simply couldn't. I find this scene so captivating when I watch it. It also seems like it might have been the seed of the idea for the whole film, which would make complete sense to me.
I think I said I have a little idea about something or other, and he said, "Oh, I kind of like that." One of my ideas had to do with the mystery man, and at that party, that kind of feeling.
There are also interesting insights and theories based on some of the details in this scene, like the Fermata hand tattoo, and even the mystery man, which the actor who played him, Robert Blake, thought he was playing the devil.
It's called Lost Highway.
That's David Lynch, Lost, yeah.
And I play the devil, I think. I said, David, I've read this script through a dozen times, and I don't understand one word of it.
But I think it makes more sense to get into those details using the context of the film. So I'm going to leave it there for now. If you picked up on any other techniques that you found contributed to the effectiveness of this scene, let me know. But otherwise, thanks for listening and see you soon.